Hello, I'm Mika Panda Ghost Story. Please like and click the follow bell button so you don't miss my videos. Thank you. 3 Scary True Highway Horror Stories, Part 3. I was taking a drive from Maine to Upper New York to spend the week with family. I left right after work around 5:30, so I didn't anticipate getting there, and so past 1 o'clock in the morning. I had the Tablato, my Jeep Wrangler, off, so I could enjoy the hot weather. I was somewhere in Vermont well past midnight when the gas light flicked on, and the car started beeping. Unfortunately, the gas gauge in the car was broken, so there was no way to gauge how much gas was left. I was told by my brother, who drove the car the previous day, that he filled it up to the top, but clearly he was either mistaken or lying, because I had not used anywhere near a full tank's worth of gas. One off hose, blue service sign zoomed past. I could see a gas station symbol in one of the boxes, so I turned off that exit onto a desolate road, which surely led to some kind of civilization I wouldn't be finding out anytime soon. However, because the car started jittering and bumping around a bit, making weird noises that didn't sound good at all. A few seconds later, the acceleration stopped and the car came to a helpless halt. I couldn't believe it, but I actually ran out of gas. I hopped out of the car and got on the phone with AAA, telling them my exact location. They said they could have a guy out to me in at least 20 minutes. I was grateful, but at the same time annoyed that I'd be waiting now for at least 20 minutes for about 15 minutes. I could have just strolled around my car slowly, looking down at my phone, texting friends about the situation and checking social medias. It was so quiet, no sounds of distant traffic, no passing cars, just sound of crickets and other night creatures in the woods. Then I heard something walking around in the woods. The footsteps were decently heavy, so I had a hunch it was a deer or something, but the possibility of it being a bear wasn't far-fetched given that this was bear country. I walked around to the passenger side of the car, now where the woods were and where the sounds were coming from, just in hopes of seeing a deer or some other harmless animal. Then there were clapping sounds, like it actually sounded like a person clapping their hands. I moved a little closer to listen for it again. This time it was 3 claps. I called out to the woods, hoping in some weird way that someone wouldn't swear, but after I did, the clapping didn't happen anymore. I just stood there waiting for something to happen, but it was just silence. So I got back in the car and just waited. I heard footsteps once again coming from the woods, coming in my direction. Then it just stopped. I looked outside and saw the head peeking from behind a tree just ahead. It almost looked lifeless. The eyes, they just looked so lifeless I couldn't even tell if they were looking at me or not. I was so focused on these details I didn't even think to scream at the horror of what I was witnessing. I cranked the windows up on both sides and turned off headlights. However, hiding in the car didn't make me feel much safer, since the entire top was off. Without their headlights on, there was complete darkness. I couldn't see 2 inches in front of me, yet I was surrounded by the night noises of the forest. I was ducking down below the dashboard, doors locked, yet still completely exposed to the outside, praying not to hear any sudden sounds like footsteps. I felt the sinking feeling in my stomach. However, as I heard someone grab the car door handle, I tried my best not to move or make any noise. I was waiting for something to start pounding at the glass, or at the very least reach around the opening behind the front door to just unlock it. I was so exposed it wasn't even funny, and then I felt a hand aggressively grabbed onto my back. I simply lost it and screamed at the top of my lungs, but suddenly the hand released its grip on my shirt as light began to fill the area, and the sound of a truck engine pulling up the road was music to my ears. I sat up and turned around to see the headlights of a AAA truck, but whoever was grabbing me was long gone. Already I ran outside to greet the man who stepped out. He was a big dude in his 40s. I basically cried to him about what just happened, taking huge breaths in between Each sentence something about his personality and presence was just calming and reassuring. However, he filled my car up with gas, and we both went on our ways, even though something about that man's aura just calmed me down. The memory of what happened that night is still haunting, and the image of that lifeless head peering around that tree eyes imprinted in my brain.